And so this year we decided to do a matinee on this Saturday at 3 o'clock, and then do a regular show at 8 p.m. And ticket sales are going well, but it's not sold out yet.
Okay. Well, if I was still on the radio, I was ready to have you on and, tell everybody all about that. But I think through Facebook and the little internet offering here, we'll try to get some more of the word out there because it sounds like it's a good organization, and I think it's cool that there's people out there worried about getting diapers to those in need.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever hear about such a thing that people can't get diapers
No.
with a bridge card? You can get ice cream for your kids, but you can't get diapers.
And is there really a statute or something?
Yeah, it's pretty common, I guess, across the entire country, but it's definitely true for Michigan that you cannot get government assistance to purchase diapers for your children when you're in need.
So,
And so you can your bridge card and those sorts of things do cover all sorts of food items, which is ice cream is one of them. You can buy your kid junk food, but you can't buy them diapers with government assistance.
that
And
is
that's why
wild.
these diaper banks have started to sprout up across the country, and we've got a really excellent one right here in Holland. So
That is cool, man. Did you ever try getting on the pledge and talking to those guys about it?
I haven't. I'm kind of new to the Nestlings. Those folks at Nestlings found me from the comedy shows we used to do at City Flats Hotel. They were regulars.
Oh,
And one year, last year, they said, "Hey, would you do a benefit show for us?" And we did. And again, it was a hit. And they explained their organization to me, and it resonated with me personally because I like to help people in need, but I like to offer a hand up rather than a hand out.
I like that. Yep.
And I also respect people that don't, put more burden on the government. They give to charity, and this Nestlings is all about being fully funded by charity. None of the people who run Nestlings get paid a salary. They do it, for free, and so all the money goes to helping the kids that need it, and it's all charity, all funded by people with generous hearts. And when they started telling me that story about how if a baby doesn't get diapered, it's more than that. I mean, they're at risk of abuse. When a baby cries all the time, and there's so much a diaper does for a kid. And
I think a lot of people probably take that for granted, just thinking that
I did until I heard the story, and I'm like, wow, what a big need. And I'm not a very nurturing, caregiving kind of guy, Red. And if something like that pulled at my heartstrings, then it's got to be something significant. And I'm just glad that they give me a chance to help out by using my comedy, because that makes me feel great. I get to do something I love, but then I get to go out and help the least of these, and you can't beat that feeling.
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. Now, a little bit about your comedy, because I've never had the opportunity of listening to you, but I know that you're a man of faith. You're a born-again believer, a Christian. So is your comedy religious-based?
Everything I do is religious-based. Everything. Jesus Christ claims everything, claims all of creation. And so, absolutely. So when I, clean my bathroom, it's religious-based. When I go to work, it's religious-based.
Okay.
No, I don't use holy water in my toilet. But
Please.
To say, is it overtly, worship still? Like if you say, oh, this is Christian music, or listen to WJQ and those sorts of things. No, not all of it is. Some of it is,
Right.
but some of it is just I'm a comedian who is a Christian. I'm not a Christian comedian. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I have to tell you, I've been saying that to people for at least 20 years because, God had placed this burden on my heart a long time ago to do some stand-up. And I was saying to myself, well, I was saying to the Lord, God, it's going to be difficult to go to, say, like the Comedy Store and start doing some Christian comedy. And he said to me, the Holy Spirit said to me, you are not a Christian comic. you're a comic who's a Christian. And I thought, well, that's helping me out a little bit. That's getting me closer to the stage, but I had yet to make the full leap because I was just so afraid that in those clubs, in the Smoky Club, no one wants to hear stories about Noah, even if they're humorous. No one wants to hear
Right.
about, the Apostle Paul on the road to Damascus and his Jesus moment. I don't know if I can make that funny, so I was always a little leery.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, I don't spend a lot of time in clubs either. You know, I there's times that I do go to clubs and I do comedy there, but I find that those audiences that are there are often there for some of the more raunchy stuff, and I don't necessarily fit in those environments. I do go there on occasion because I think that there's people there that need to be reached, and they need to be shown that there's other comedy that's available that's just as good, but doesn't have to be appealing to the darker side. But you know, God has taken me to corporate America. God has taken me to churches across the country. God has taken me into places like City Flats Hotel and in the Laugh Fest Festival for Gilda's Club. And so you never know. I mean, God might even take me to the prison up in Muskegon to do shows up there. You never know. And but I think, though, that if you just remember that God claims everything. Everything is Jesus Christ. And so you don't have to necessarily always be speaking overtly about Jesus. I mean, some of the jokes I do are about the sanctity of life, or that we're all created in God's image. You know, there's jokes that come out of those topics, you know, that a Christian would recognize, you know, what the theme of those are, but they're not overtly Christian.
I understand exactly what you're saying, and I think I'm going to co-opt your reason for not going into the clubs next time the Lord speaks to me. But Lord, they're doing some unsavory comedy in there, and I'm really not wanting to be a part of that. You think he'll?
Yeah, and I think if you do go there, it's a mission field. It's not to go there to be part of the world. It's to go there to bring a message of hope to the world. And so, you know, there's atheist comedians that are friends of mine, you know, that we've interacted at the clubs, we interact on Facebook, and they come back and they say things to me like, wow, you know, I never seen, you know, Christian like that before, or I never thought of, you know, that topic like that before.
Right.
So, you know, yeah, I have, you know, they turn their life to Christ yet? No, I don't think so, because that's what the Holy Spirit's work is. I don't do that work. The Holy Spirit does. But I am supposed to proclaim it no matter what, and let the Spirit take it from there. And sometimes I'm supposed to proclaim it in a comedy club, of all places. Some people's mission field is Africa. Some people's mission field is India, Bangladesh, Budapest. Sometimes my mission field, Red, is at an open mic night someplace in Unica at a bar.
I love it, man. I love the sound of that. And that's exactly how it is. And you probably got the best booking agent going right now, because he's only got to put you in places where you can be a success for the Lord. So that's a good thing too.
Well, it is. I think you make a good point there. Hey, by the way, I got 2 free tickets for you for the Nestling show if you want to go. 3 o'clock or 8 o'clock Saturday night.
I would like to say 8 p.m. Saturday night.
All right. I'll hold them to be at will call at the door at Macatawa Bank in the community room. Just come in, follow the signs, and there'll be 2 tickets with your name on it there.
Macatawa Bank Community Room, 8 p.m. Saturday. Where is that? Downtown Holland?
Downtown Holland, right there at Columbia and 8th Street. And the parking's right behind the bank. So you get good park. You can walk across the street to Styles and have a pizza. It's perfect.
No more Styles Pizza. Oh, man, I love it so much, man. I can eat half of one of those without a problem.
I know, it's so thin.
Oh, man, I love it. All right, man. Well, thanks for having a conversation with me so I could hear what that sounds like. And this is going to work out, I think.
All right. Well, it's good talking to you, Red. And I see Sue's listening, and I want to just do a shout-out for Sue and say, Sue, thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. And Ron, see you're listening, and Shelly and Dave and John. I just want to say hello to everybody. Love you guys for supporting Red.
Hey, man. Thank you so much, Alex. I'll see you Saturday, man.
All right. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wow, look at that. Doing phone calls and stuff. Yeah. Wow, I thought my first interview was going to be with the GOP chair, Mr. Adam Tuntis, but apparently it was with Alex Ritzema. Thank you very much, Alex. All right, I got to play a song. 7:45 is the time. We're just cruising through this hour, and I'm telling you, if you would like to get on the phone and chit chat, I'm here. You can try this number, 760-705-8888. One more time, that's 760-705-8888. Right now, let's sing in the sunshine. This is a lovely, lovely tune. Takes me back to I don't know, I like the early 60s. It brings back really good, warm, happy memories. It's Gail Garnett. And we'll sing in the sunshine. You're in the internet world of Red's Place.
We'll sing in the sunshine. We'll laugh every day. We'll sing in the sunshine. Then I'll be on my way.
What happened? What happened? Oh, I think I need a real serious computer, one that has like crazy amounts of RAM and gigabytes and everything. That's what I think I need. Because right now, another error occurred. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I love the technology, but there are still some things to be worked out. So let's try it again. Gail Garnett, Sing in the Sunshine, Red's Place.
We'll sing in the sunshine. We'll laugh every day. We'll sing in the sunshine. Then I'll be on my way. I will never love you. The cost of love's too dear. But though I'll never love you, I'll live with you 1 year, and we can sing in the sunshine. We laugh every day. We'll sing in the sunshine. Then I'll be on my way. I'll sing to you each morning, love you every night. But baby, don't cling to me, I'll soon be out of sight. But we can sing in the sunshine. We laugh every day. We'll sing in the sunshine. Then I'll be on my way. My daddy, he once told me, don't you love you any man? Just take what they may give you, and give but what you can, and you can sing in the sunshine. You know you laugh every day. You'll sing in the sunshine. Then be on your way. And when our year has ended and I have gone away, you'll often speak about me, and this is what you'll say. We sang in the sunshine. You know we laughed every day. We sang in the sunshine. Then she went on her way.
So as you can hear, the sound of bleeping in the background, that is the sound of people on Facebook. It's the Facebook sound. And if I knew how to turn it off, if I knew how to turn the thing off, believe you me, I would. I've looked and looked, and tried to figure out, do we have any Facebook experts out there? Any Facebook experts? Goodness. Just want to turn that little bleeping off. But I can't. All right. So someone said that they tried that phone number and it did not work. All right. Well, Kelly, do me a favor, my friend. Send me a message with your... Wait a minute. I think I may have it here on my phone. Because I'd like to give you a buzz, man. I'd like to talk with you for just a moment. Yeah, you'll have to send me your phone number in a message. Where are we at here? Tell you what, let me get this all set up. Play one more song and then see if I can't chat a little bit with friend Kelly Israels. Right now, here are the Foundations. You remember this one from the 70s, Build Me Up Buttercup? Here at Red's Place.
Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down, and mess me around, and then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will, but I love you still, I need you, more than anyone, darling, you know that I have from the start, so build me up, buttercup, don't break my heart. I'll be over at 10, you told me time and again, but you're late. I waited round and then I run to the door. I can't take anymore. It's not you. You let me down again. Baby, try to find a little time and I'll make you happy. I'll be home. I'll be beside the phone waiting for you. Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down, and mess me around, and then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will, but I love you still, I need you, more than anyone, darling, you know that I have from the start, so build me up, buttercup, don't break my heart. You are my toy, but I could be the boy you adore if you just let me know. Although you are true, I'm attracted to you all the more. Why do I need you so? Baby, try to find a little time and I'll make you happy. I'll be home, I'll be beside the phone waiting for you. Why do you build me up, buttercup, baby, just to let me down, and mess me around, and then worst of all, you never call, baby, when you say you will, but I love you still, I need you, more than anyone, darling, you know that I have from the start, so build me up, buttercup, don't break my heart. I need you more than
Anyone, darling, you know that I get from the start. You love it? The Buttercups here on in the internet world of Red's Place. 7:54 is the time. Let's get the current temperatures here in the Holland-Zeeland area. Bing! 71 degrees in Holland, clear skies, 70 degrees in Zealand, also clear. And I see that I have San Diego's weather up on my screen. 67 degrees in San Diego with a few scattered clouds. So that's what my mummy and daddy are experiencing right now. Yes. Okay, so I want to thank you all for being here this evening. You know, Ron Chavez, he is a good friend and a good listener friend. He was a very supportive listener friend, and I thank you for that, Ron. He sent me a link, and I wanted to share that with you because I found it to be quite interesting, and Ron wanted me to share it to see what people would think about it. It comes from Bill O'Reilly, and I guess it's just the Pledge of Allegiance, right? That's standard. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. You know how it goes.
And a video shown to kids in a Minnesota middle school is outraging some local residents.
I pledge to be of service to Barack Obama.
I pledge to be a servant to our president.
What?
Well, the 2009 video was shown during a school-wide assembly as part of activities for something called Peace One Day earlier this week. It has the look and feel of a campaign ad for President Obama.
Yes, I actually played this on the air when I was at WHTC, Ron, and I thought that it was blasphemous, okay? Just for lack of a better word. I just couldn't understand them pledging allegiance to a man. But you know what? It's a good thing that we have video like this to share and to show, because there's going to come a time, remember, the Bible tells us this, and I got to go here. But the Bible tells us there's going to come a time when there's going to be a man who is going to call for people on the earth to worship him. So that's just kind of a foretelling of that. If you ever thought, that'll never happen, it's happening. So there you go. You know what? I've noticed in our day and time that we live in, there's a lot of that going on. You know, there was you remember 20, 30 years ago, you'd hear stuff about how, one day everything you say and do is going to be recorded. There'll be a camera everywhere. And you're like, forget about it. It's here. It's cameras everywhere. From the time you leave your home, you could probably be seen every step of the way through your daily journey because there's a camera somewhere. I remember my mother telling me things that were going to happen when I was a child, and I thought, she's crazy. She doesn't know what she's talking about. But the woman was like some kind of visionary. And then come to find out, she got her information the same place where I can get my information from and where I do get it from. It's called the Bible. Tell you what, there's some strange stuff going on. Listener friend sent me, hold on one second here. Alrighty. So, a listener friend sent me this link. Let me see if I can find it. I think this is it. Oh, no, that's not him. Okay. Well, anyway, he sent me this link to a story about... I can't... This is not going to do me any good. I've got to find it, so be patient with me, if you would. Kelly, did you ever send me your number so I can give you a buzz, man? Still looking for this one message. I'm going to go to my timeline. Perhaps it is on my timeline. Oh, please be patient with me. Because I really want to share it with you. Come on. I'm almost there. Thank you for hanging in there. 7:58 is the time. 71 degrees in downtown Holland. Pretty warm for an October night. First day of October 2013. Still looking for it. My goodness. See, it's important for me to find this so that I can set up this next thing that I want to talk about. But if I don't find it, then it's going to be a moot point. Clouds. Oh, there it is. I think this is it. Anyway, he gave me some information to look up, and it had to do with eugenics, which is the science of population control. And it had to do with a plan that began a long time ago, which has to do with, me, black people, and trying to keep their numbers down and just a bunch of stuff. Anyway, I was on YouTube. I was up until 1 o'clock because I found another little link on the side of the YouTube page, and I clicked on that one. And it was an interview with Dave Chappelle. some of you should be, if not all of you, should be familiar with Dave Chappelle. He was a black comedian who rose to fame. He did stand-up when he was 17 years old and just had a great run. In fact, he was given his own television show, The Chappelle Show. It lasted for just 2 seasons. And then he was offered a huge sum of money to, I guess, produce more television shows. And from where we are, as consumers, we were just reading the tabloids, and they told us that Dave Chappelle just decided to drop out. He just left. He went to Africa, just took off. Around that same time, there were stories about Martin Lawrence. Remember him? Another great black stand-up comic, had a nice run of success in television and in the movies. Remember the stories about him running around Hollywood, I think they said with his shirt off, and he was acting crazy? Well, Dave Chappelle, he explained why he left. He was doing that television show, The Actors Studio, sitting there with that guy, James, whatever his name is, and he was explaining the whole thing. And what he broke down, and that term breaking down means, explaining it in its most basic terms. What he broke down was a situation in Hollywood where, and you've heard this before, about people selling their souls so they can have fame and fortune. He was telling a story of Hollywood that was exactly that. Selling one's soul in order to have the riches and fame. He decided, and there's something else I need to talk about. In all my little research that I was doing last night, the word Illuminati or Illuminati kept coming up in these Hollywood circles. Illuminati, Hollywood. There's a connection? According to Dave Chappelle, there is. According to Dave Chappelle, there is. I'll just give you an example. In his story, he talked about a situation that he noticed, that all of these black leading men, these strong black characters, these men, Chris Tucker, great black comedian, Bill Cosby, Chris Rock, Eddie Murphy, all these great black comedians have had to play movie parts where they dressed in drag. Dave Chappelle, who is someone who was in that lifestyle, in that world, in that system, if you will, said that he believes that they do this as a means to degrade and to keep people, certain races, in their place. And to illustrate the story, he talked about how he was on a movie set, and it was his movie, okay, movie that he wrote. He said that one of the writers came to him and said, Dave, we're going to change this one scene. We think it would be really funny if you did the scene dressed like a prostitute, because then, it'll be this whole different thing, and it'll be just this great energy, and you'll love it, and then the people will just love it. And Dave said, what? Dressed like a woman? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. That's not something I'm comfortable with. And then in his own words, he said, now, any rational human being would have thought that would have been the end of it. I mean, it's my movie. I wrote the thing, right? They've come to me changing a scene, saying they want me to wear a dress. I've expressed to them that I don't want to wear a dress, and that should be the end of it. But then Dave goes on for about 3 more minutes telling us how this writer continued to harangue him about wearing a dress, why he needs to wear a dress. The writer leaves. The director comes in, starts talking to him about wearing a dress. He leaves. The producer comes in. He was telling this story to Oprah Winfrey, who, through some of the research that I was doing, is Illuminati. Another story for another day. But she was conducting the interview. And the whole time he was telling her the story, the look on her face was not one of incredulation. She wasn't like just, aghast that, she wasn't shocked that they were trying to make him wear a dress. That was not the shock on her face. That's not the look that I saw. The look that I saw on her face was one like, well, why wouldn't you wear a dress? What was so wrong with that? I like his point. He refused to wear the dress. Made a big deal about it. But he talked about how you have to sell your soul in Hollywood in order to be famous, to be over the $100 million mark. He talked about how they tried to, and we've heard this story before, where Hollywood will take your creative idea, twist it, turn it, and try to use it for their own good. and their own good is to sway the masses. That's really what it's all about. If you think that we're watching television and all these great TV shows just because someone wants to entertain us, really, you need to wake up, because that's not what it's about. It really is about control. Think about it. Think about all the TV shows we have on now. Think about it. I mean, there's some terrible TV shows on. There are all these cop shows where they're always investigating mutilations and murders and abductions and bomb threats. That's all we're getting. And then we get reality shows which deal with, well, adultery and gluttony and, the 7 deadly sins. I mean, that's what we have for television. And you'd think with all the bad stuff going on in the world, like in the old days, they would crank out movies that would be uplifting, that would make us feel good about ourselves, feel good about being an American, a good musical, a Music Man. We don't get those. No. We don't even get a good political movie. And I don't mean political like, Harrison Ford doing his faces. And I think I need to change my camera angle so that I can, make this point. Harrison Ford. We don't need another political thriller with Harrison Ford making faces. That's not what we need. We need some uplifting movies, but we can't seem to get those. Think about music. I guess I'm getting off track here. And I didn't want to get preachy. I don't always want to get preachy. All right, what can I play here? Here's a good tune, although it's not going to come up right away because that's the way it works on YouTube. You got to wait for that commercial. You can see your YouTube video in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I love this tune, and you're going to love it too. I don't remember what year it was, probably 65, 66 maybe 1967. The Turtles. Happy Together? Red's Place.
Imagine me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hold her tight. So happy together. If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, so I lose my mind. Imagine how the world could be so very fine, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you're with me, baby, the skies will be blue for all my life. Me and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. How they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me, so happy together. So happy together. And how is the weather? So happy together.
All right, I just cut that off real fast, didn't I? The Turtles. And so happy together. Oh, and I am so happy to be together with you, my viewing friends and my listener friends. from the radio days. And I know a lot of folks are wondering, what happened over there, man. I shared with most of you personally the story of what happened. And I must say, despite the fact that I don't have my job at WHTC anymore, I'm still a very happy man. You can't understand the enormous pressure that I was under every single day. And not because there was a real need for pressure. No. It was just there. What happens sometimes in medium-sized and in large companies, the ownership kind of loses touch with all of their employees. They become insulated. They're in like a cocoon, and they don't know what's going on. They're entrusting the running of their empire, if you will, to a small group of men and women. This is in this particular company that I worked for, Midwest Communications and WHTC. Small group of men and women who are overseers of regions. And in these regions are stations. And in these stations, you have a general manager who is in charge of, all of the many stations in a cluster of stations. Like, for instance, here in Holland, there's a cluster of 2 stations, WHTC and WYVN. The head man over there would be Kevin Oswald. My boss was Brent Allen. What happens in these medium and large-sized companies when the management is so far away and they're leaving the management and the running of their properties up to individuals who are also, remember, miles and miles away from the management, something usually happens. These properties become little fiefdoms for people, if you will. And when that happens, rather than an atmosphere that fosters growth and encourages creativity, you get a micromanaged, overly, I don't know how to put it, micromanaged and overly, just, I guess that one's hard to explain, but micromanaged for sure. And instead of allowing people to soar and become all that they can be, they tend to clip wings to try to keep you under control. So instead of letting the bird fly around the apartment, they clip the wings so the bird really can't do much except walk around. It's still a bird. It's still a bird, but it can't perform all the functions of a bird. So in leaving WHTC, even though it's sad to lose a job, even sadder to lose daily touch with my listener friends, there was such a weight lifted from me you cannot believe. And those of you who know me a little more personally, who I've talked to about my experiences there at WHTC, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And for those of you who don't, I don't really want to get into a situation where I'm, like crying and saying they were mean. But suffice it to say, I'll just give you one example. One example. How would you like to go to a job every day where you're told that you the individual, not everybody else, you cannot make one mistake, period? How would you function in that environment where you can't make one mistake? Not one. You cannot, Red, you can't make one mistake. Not one. How do you work in that environment when you know good and well you're human and you're going to make mistakes? In fact, as soon as you're told that you can't make a mistake, guess what you do? No, come on. Guess what you do? Who said that? Who said you make a mistake? That's exactly what happens. Except in my case, you make multiple mistakes because you're always on guard about making a mistake. And so the first thing you do is you make a mistake. And so my life for the last 9.5 years, and I mean every single day. Do I mean every single day? No, because there were some days when certain individuals were on vacation. And then it was a vacation from the micromanagement and a vacation from the you've got to be perfect. So no, I can't say that every day of all 9.5 years was that way, because there were breaks. They usually went in cycles. Things would be nice and quiet for about maybe up to a month. And by that I mean no problems. Because you heard me on the air always make jokes about going into the office. Well, those weren't always jokes. I was in that office a lot. And am I doing what I said I wasn't going to do? Oh, all right. So I'm not going to do that. But anyway, you just can't. It was hard being perfect every day. I made mistakes. And so to not be in that environment anymore is just wonderful. It's liberating. It's nice. And to know that I can be here on the internet and play music, the music that I want to play, the music that I know that you, my listener friends, like, and some songs maybe from the soul side of music that you haven't heard before, but I think that you'll like. I've got a pretty good musical ear. That part's going to be nice. It's going to be nice to have that freedom to play that music. It's going to be nice to be able to conduct the interviews that I'd like to conduct. You know, it doesn't always have to be on the political side of things. It can be a fun, kind of light interview. That is so liberating. And then I know that I won't be getting any phone calls during the podcast telling me you forgot to mention that there's school closings. You forgot to say the time and temperature 12 times. You have to say it 12 times an hour. You only said it 9. You still have 3 more hours to go. To know that I won't have to be going through that is very nice. To know that I'll be able to self-edit, that's very nice. And to know that there's nothing in between you and me now, that's really nice. It's just you and me. Just you and me. And that's cool. That's cool. All right, I'm going to play one more song here at 8:16 because I know that many of you have television shows that you just have to watch. I understand because I have some too. And I need to go and tuck my lovely wife in. She's being very understanding because I'll be coming on here like this probably 2 or 3 times a night, which will take time away from her, which will always remind her that I don't work in the daytime anymore, which will continue to put the pressure on. No, I'm kidding.
Maybe she's not there, but they're here and they're the zombies.
Well, no one told me about her, the way she lied. Well, no one told me about her, how many people cried. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she had tan, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there. Well, no one told me about her. What could I do? Well, no one told me about her, though they all knew. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she had tan, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there. But it's too late to say you're sorry. How would I know? Why should I care? Please don't bother trying to find her. She's not there. Well, let me tell you about the way she looked, the way she had tan, the color of her hair. Her voice was soft and cool, her eyes were clear and bright, but she's not there.
Dun, dun, dun. All right. All right. All right. That is going to do it for me. Yeah. All right. I was hoping to have a chance to talk with Diane Lowe, but she's still coughing like crazy, she says. And she will be joining me here on the podcast, so I'll be looking for her And I think Mary Rothschafer from the Critter Barn's going to show up. I still have to try to call Jan and see if maybe I can get her to, be a guest on the live podcast. But, as this thing picks up speed and I get it formatted, and, well, we'll have the interviews, we'll have the people on, and it'll be great fun. So have a good night. This is your good friend Red Kingman saying sleep well. I'll talk to you in the morning.